we're going to start learning right now. And even if this is your very first Spanish lesson, you're going to come away being able to use a lot of everyday conversational Spanish, while also discovering how to continue learning at the same rate. I know that not all of you are complete beginners, so there's a section for non-beginners too. And if that applies to you, you can skip forward to the time code that's coming up on the screen now, or stick with us for the extra practice. Welcome to ProSpanish. Right, let's get straight to class. So first we have está bien, está bien. So that's he's okay or she's okay or it's okay. Está bien. And that bien, okay, it could also be fine. No, it's fine. Está bien. How is she? Está bien. She's fine. She's okay. What do you think it would mean if I asked this question? ¿Está bien? ¿Está bien? Yeah, it's exactly the same, but as a question. Is it okay? Is she okay? Or is he okay? So maybe your friend isn't looking too well, and somebody might ask, ¿Está bien? ¿Está bien? Is he okay? So the question is exactly the same as the statement, the affirmation. What would it mean if I said, no está bien? No está bien. Yeah, it's not okay, or she's not okay, or he's not okay. No está bien. And depending on the situation, we might say she's not well. No está bien. So we've got está bien, and we have the question, está bien? So is she, he, it okay? And the negative, no está bien. It's not okay, she's not okay, he's not okay. Let's have a look at these next two. Libre and ocupado. Libre and ocupado. It could be a seat in a bar that's free or taken, occupied. Libre, ocupado. And how would you ask the question? Maybe talking about a seat. Is it free? So instead of, is it okay? How would you ask, is it free? ¿Está libre? ¿Está libre? And maybe the answer is, it's not free, it's occupied. What would that be? No está libre. Está ocupado. No está libre. Está ocupado. And you can see that I'm building up your conversational language without overloading you with grammatical explanations. It's more like I'm giving you pieces of Lego in the right order so that you can build your own conversations. And this is a key feature that runs throughout my ProSpanish Levels 1 to 6 course. How would you ask the question? Is it occupied? ¿Está ocupado? ¿Está ocupado? Now we've said ocupado is occupied. And if we're talking about he or she is occupied, in English we're more likely to say he or she is busy. So ocupado can be translated as occupied or busy. How would you say, he's not busy? No está ocupado. No está ocupado. And what about the question? Is she busy? Is she busy? And it's the same as saying she is busy, but in a question tone. Now, when we're applying ocupado to a woman or a girl, so feminine, we just need to change the last letter, the O. We just need to change it to an A to show that it's feminine. So ocupada, ocupada. And that tells us we're saying she is busy rather than he is busy. So how would you say, is she busy? ¿Está ocupada? ¿Está ocupada? Okay, look away from the screen a moment. Now, can you remember how to say it's okay, or she's okay, or he's okay? What was that? It's the very first one that we did. So without looking, see if you can remember. Yeah, it's está bien. Está bien. So the está is he is, she is, or it is. Está. And if we want to say you are, so instead of he is, you are, we just add an S at the end. Estás. So you are is estás. And of course, the question is the same. Are you? Estás, whatever it might be. So estás, you are, or the question, are you? How would you ask someone, are you okay? ¿Estás bien? ¿Estás bien? How about, are you free? Like maybe I need to talk to you. Are you free? What would that be? ¿Estás libre? ¿Estás libre? And we'll just take a quick pause here while I mention my very popular Levels 1 to 6 course. This takes the complete beginner or near beginner right up to a conversational level of Spanish in a series of very easy to follow steps. Now, all the lessons on this YouTube channel are supplementary, whereas the core Levels 1 to 6 is very much a step-by-step program delivered by me, the same teacher as all the other videos on this channel. And while the style is very similar to what you'll be used to from these videos on the channel, the key difference is that every lesson carefully builds on the previous lessons so that you can really feel that progress of going from little or no Spanish up to a level where you can confidently hold a conversation in Spanish. And that course download is available exclusively from prospanish.co.uk. So let's just add in the word for today, hoy, as it's useful for this part of the conversation. So hoy is today. So how would you ask, are you free today? ¿Estás libre hoy? ¿Estás libre hoy? And going back to he, she, or it is, so we started with está bien. How would we ask the question, is he busy today? What would that be? ¿Está ocupado hoy? ¿Está ocupado hoy? How about, is she free today? What would that be? ¿Está libre hoy? ¿Está libre hoy? And the answer might be, no, no está libre. Está ocupada. No, she's not free, she's busy. So the adjectives we've got so far are bien, okay, libre, free, ocupado, occupied or busy. Let's add in another one. So ready, listo. So ready is listo. So you could ask somebody with a very short question, listo, listo, ready. How would you say that to a girl? Yeah, lista, lista. Say ready. And how would you say it's not ready? What would that be? So it might be referring to a meal or whatever. No está listo. No está listo. It's not ready. How would you ask the question? Is she ready? ¿Está lista? ¿Está lista? And the answer might come back, no, está ocupada. No, she's busy. How would you ask, are you ready? ¿Estás listo? ¿Estás listo? Right, let's do the next two question words together. So, ¿cómo and dónde? ¿Cómo, dónde? So, how and where? ¿Cómo, dónde? ¿Cómo, dónde? How would you ask? How are you? Just two words. How are you? What would that be? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? How are you? How about where is it? What would that be? Where is it? Again, 2 words. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? So where is it? Of course, that would also be where is he and where is she? ¿Dónde está? And maybe somebody hasn't been well lately, and you might ask, how is he today? What would that be? How is he today? ¿Cómo está hoy? ¿Cómo está hoy? How is he today? Or how is she today? And what about if you're on the phone to somebody and you're asking, where are you? What would that be? Just 2 words. Where are you? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Where are you? Okay, next we have estoy. Estoy is I am. Estoy. So we've had he, she, it is. We had you are, estás. And now I am or I'm, estoy. How would you say, I'm okay? Estoy bien. Estoy bien. So I'm okay or I'm fine. How about I'm not free today? What would that be? No estoy libre hoy. No estoy libre hoy. And you might start with an apology. You might say, I'm sorry. Lo siento. Lo siento. No estoy libre hoy. Lo siento. No estoy libre hoy. And how would you say, I'm ready? Estoy listo. Estoy listo. And what would it mean if I said, estoy en Londres? Estoy en Londres. I'm in London. Londres, London. En Londres, in London. How would you ask the question, are you in London? ¿Estás en Londres? ¿Estás en Londres? Have a guess. What does this mean? ¿Estás en casa? ¿Estás en casa? Casa, house. Are you at home? It's like, are you in a house? But we would say, are you at home? ¿Estás en casa? How would you say, I'm not at home today? What would that be? I'm not at home today. No estoy en casa hoy. No estoy en casa hoy. Okay, next we have ba-a. Ba-a. Notice that the letter V is pronounced more like an English B. So ba-a, he is going to, or he's going to. And of course we know it would also be she's going to and it's going to. So he, she, it is going to. Ba-a. Sounds a little bit like a sheep. Ba. How would you say, he's going to London today? Va a Londres hoy. Va a Londres hoy. And of course the question would be exactly the same. How would you ask, is she going to London today? Va a Londres hoy. Va a Londres hoy. How would you say, he's not going to Granada today? What would that be? He's not going to Granada today. No va a Granada hoy. No va a Granada hoy. And if he, she, or it is going to, is va a, what would it be just to say it's going? Just the one word, it's going. Well, it would just be va. It's going, va. How would you say it's going fine or it's going okay? What would that be? Va bien. So va bien. It's going okay. How would you say it's not going okay? No va bien. No va bien. And that would be quite a common thing to say in Spain. No va bien. It's not going well. It's not going okay. How would you ask the question, how is it going? So the two words, very common question. How's it going? What would that be? ¿Cómo va? ¿Cómo va? How's it going? So you could have ¿Cómo estás? How are you? But you could also have ¿Cómo va? How's it going? And you could answer, oh, yeah, it's going fine. Va bien. Va bien. Now, can you remember we learned he, she, it, is, which was está, and we went from there to you are. What letter did we add on? Yes, we added on the S to make it estás for the you version of that. So if he's going to is va a, how do you think you would say you're going to, or the question, are you going to? Yeah, just add an S on it, vas a. So you're going to, or the question, are you going to, is vas a. Vas a. How would you ask, are you going to London today? ¿Vas a Londres hoy? ¿Vas a Londres hoy? What about a negative? So maybe a parent telling their child, you're not going to Granada today. What would that be? No vas a Granada hoy. No vas a Granada hoy. You're not going. Let's have a look at these next two together. Jugar al tenis, jugar al golf. To play tennis and to play golf. Jugar al tenis, jugar al golf. What do you think it means if I say jugar al fútbol? Yeah, to play football. How about jugar al rugby? Yeah, to play rugby, so nice and easy. Jugar al tenis, jugar al golf. How would you say, are you going to play tennis? ¿Vas a jugar al tenis? ¿Vas a jugar al tenis? How about, are you going to play golf today? What would that be? ¿Vas a jugar al golf hoy? ¿Vas a jugar al golf hoy? And what kind of answer might you get? Someone might say, I'm busy today. Estoy ocupado hoy. What about this more specific question? Where are you going to play tennis? What would that be? Where are you going to play tennis today? ¿Dónde vas a jugar al tenis hoy? ¿Dónde vas a jugar al tenis hoy? Where are you going to play tennis today? How about going back to he, she, or it is going to? How would you say he's not going to play golf today? He's busy. What would that be? No va a jugar al golf hoy. Está ocupado. No va a jugar al golf hoy. Está ocupado. How about this one? Is it okay to play tennis? What would that be? ¿Está bien jugar al tenis? ¿Está bien jugar al tenis? Now go back to I am. Estoy. Estoy. I am. Now looking at that, have a guess what I'm going to is. Yeah, it's got that same oi ending. Voy a. I'm going to. Voy a. How would you say, I'm going to Granada? Voy a Granada. Voy a Granada. How about, I'm going to play tennis? Voy a jugar al tenis. Voy a jugar al tenis. How about, I'm not going to play golf today. I'm busy. No voy a jugar al golf hoy. Estoy ocupado. No voy a jugar al golf hoy. Estoy ocupado. So you can see how quickly and easily you can piece together conversational Spanish when it's presented to you in the right way and in the right sequence. And so just before we go to the section for our non-beginners, another reminder that my ProSpanish Levels 1 to 6 course is only available for download from prospanish.co.uk. Okay, so now on to the part of the video for non-beginners. Welcome back to anybody that skipped forward. We're going to stick with the same language, but we're going to add things in. So just start off with straightforward, he's busy, he's occupied. What would that be? Está ocupado. Está ocupado. Now, if you want to say he's still busy, the word still, aún, aún, and it goes at the beginning of the sentence. So, aún está ocupado. He's still busy. Aún está ocupado. And another word that can be used interchangeably with aún is todavía. Todavía. We'll stick with aún for now though. So, aún está ocupado, he's still busy. How would you say, she's still in Madrid? What would that be? Aún está en Madrid. Aún está en Madrid. How would you ask, are you still going to play golf? ¿Aún vas a jugar al golf? ¿Aún vas a jugar al golf? What about a negative? How would you say, she's still not free? What would that be? She's still not free. Aún no está libre. Aún no está libre. How about, she's still not ready? Aún no está lista. Aún no está lista. Now in Spanish, she's still not ready and she's not ready yet are exactly the same. So if we were going to translate she's not ready yet, we would also say aún no está lista. Aún no está lista. So how would you say, I'm not going to play golf yet. Aún no voy a jugar al golf. Aún no voy a jugar al golf. How about, she's not going to play tennis yet. So maybe she's had an injury. She's not going to play tennis yet. What would that be? Aún no va a jugar al tenis. Aún no va a jugar al tenis. So when using the negative, not yet or still not, it's just the same. However, if we're asking a question, are you ready yet? Then that's different, because clearly we're able to substitute still into that question. Are you ready yet? Are you still ready? Certainly not the same thing. So when it's the question yet, so are you ready yet, we use ya. So, ¿ya estás listo? Are you ready yet? ¿Ya estás listo? How would you ask? Are you free yet? Are you free yet? ¿Ya estás libre? ¿Ya estás libre? And a bit more literally, it translates as, are you free already? Are you already free? But we would use yet. How would we ask? Is she ready yet? ¿Ya está lista? ¿Ya está lista? And using to play tennis, well, let's change it to jugando al tenis, playing tennis. So he's playing tennis would be está jugando al tenis. How would you ask the question, is he playing tennis yet? ¿Ya está jugando al tenis? ¿Ya está jugando al tenis? How about, is she playing golf yet? ¿Ya está jugando al golf? ¿Ya está jugando al golf? And that takes us to the end of this video. As mentioned earlier, if you're looking to become a confident and a competent speaker of Spanish, head over to ProSpanish.co.uk, where you can download the full Levels 1 to 6 course.